Soldiers in 11.11/1918 looking at their watches. Just 3 more minutes before they can leave those goddamn trenches. A soothsayer telling Caligula he will be an emperor, just as he will be able to cross the sea while riding on his horse. Caligula actually doing that. Promptly leave your pissed-off rival's castle after accepting his surrender. Stay longer and risk assassination to bang said rival's super-hot auntie. Dueling because someone insulted your hat. Dueling because someone has maybe more game on his estate. Dueling to decide which flower decoration to use. Dueling for 19 years because you were disinvited to a party. People who believe Nazis were actual socialists because it is in the name when they find out about lying. Weebs. No samurai would beat knights since they occasionally had guns. Knights. Spanish colonization of America according to eyewitnesses. Spanish colonizations of America according to Spanish historians. Mosquito, bite and run. B. The universe. How are you not dead? Adolf Sachs. I have no idea. Ferdinand Waldo exist. Johnny Sins. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary. IDF soldiers when they just finished a war against 5 countries, and their boss tells them that they are about to go to war with England. Taking a neutral stance in the Troubles. Their weapons somehow ending up in loyalist hands. Ho Chi Minh. When I die, please cremate me and spread my ashes to the north, center, and south of the country. Vietnamese Politburo. No, I do not think I will. You do not have to like the history, but you have to accept it happened. People nowadays, Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, historians, focus on fighting the British and their allies to win the war, invade Russia, the popes in 9th to 10th century, the popes now. Virginia. West Virginia needs to give us our land back. Federal government. Virginia. Are not we forgetting one teensy-weensy but ever so crucial little tiny detail? I own you. When the president and vice president both resigned so you get the Oval Office. Well, I guess I am in charge now. Ron Goldman just trying to deliver a pair of glasses. OJ, who just murdered his wife. Dwight D. Eisenhower's college football career. Jim Thorpe. The ghost of Machiavelli watching a regime be threatened by its own mercenaries. You're Dutch and you see bombers approaching. Panic. The anti-air are aiming at them. Calm. They do not fire and the bombers open their bomb bays. Panic. They are dropping food and aid saving you from starvation. The medieval child just exists. Pigs. Finally, some good fucking food. Ruling with her husband as co-empress. Taking the throne after the death of her husband. Leading an invasion against her husband, forcing him to abdicate and becoming regent. Leading a coup d'etat against her husband, killing him and crowning herself empress. No one. Native Americans after being displaced by the US government. Haha, it is named Istanbul, not Constantinople. Its name comes from the Greek phrase to the city, King Kamehameha the Great. The 2 guys who nearly killed him with a fish paddle. Sigmund Freud, when a time traveler shows him how he is viewed in the 21st century. Native American history if they wrote it down. Native American history. 14th century Balkan countries after hiring Turkish mercenaries. I have made a huge mistake. King Solomon being one of the wisest man alive. His love for women. Scipio Africanus meeting Rome's greatest and audacious nightmare. The general he respected for the second and last time in Antiochus III's court. Hannibal, who became the Seleucid military advisor of Antiochus, meeting the same daring man who beat him in Zama for the second and last time. Axis scientists in 1943. Allied scientists in 1943. Swiss scientists in 1943. In 1866, the French government legalized eating horse meat. The French. Delicious. Finally, some good fucking food. If you feel you have lost faith in humanity, just remember how these guys celebrated Christmas in the First World War. Here you go. How did SA get nuclear weapons? I put you in charge of my army, and you switched sides. And you made stew of my son and tricked me into eating it. So, I won the Battle of Kadesh. Be honest. There are accounts of the victory carved into temples. Who carved them? Okay. It might have been a stalemate. Thank you. The US and Soviets, when you ask them who launched the first man-made object into space. Going back in time to kill Hitler. Stopping Gavrilo Princip. Stopping the Wall Street crash. Giving Gustav Stresemann heart medicine. This land is mine, and I do not care who I have to kill to get it. This land is mine, and I do not care who I have to kill to get it. Thanks for the fruit and ice, bro. I feel much better now. No problem, bro. Say want to hash things out with a peace treaty. 15th century peasants after surviving another harsh winter. POV. You have just nationalized the Suez Canal. Vikings. Medieval England. Hating Hoover because of the Great Depression. Hating Hoover because of what he did to the bonus army. Alchemists in the 16th century. Medical doctors in the 16th century. Israel. Attacks Iran. Iran. Attacks Israel. Germany. Declares war on France. Germany. Sorry, force of habit. Benjamin Franklin being a responsible newspaper editor and printer. Trolling the British by writing a fake edict that England belonged to Prussia. Could you not ask me to annex you for 5 minutes? POV. Your loan payment is late. Medieval and Renaissance banks. Modern banks. Israel. Soviet Union. Arabic states. Israel after making the leader of a terrorist organization their prime minister. Wanna see me do it again? Monarchs when they draw out a losing war until the opposing monarch dies and gets succeeded by an incompetent pacifist. You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me. Your Wehrmacht soldiers conquer Paris and now you can visit the Eiffel Tower. A baguette boy cut the elevator lines and you must climb all 1665 steps by foot. Germany in Polish history books. Russia in Polish history books. Sweden in Polish history books. Pretty much all of Poland's neighbors in Polish history books. Kennedy gets shot and the US might think it is you. Panic. The shooter was an American and not one of your own agents. Calm. The shooter was a Marxist and had lived in the USSR. Panic. The spy you sent to keep an eye on German radicals is now the leader of the German radicals. The... What? You want to defeat the best and strongest army in the world as a minor country. You have almost no men, but you look for solutions in ancient Roman scrolls. You find a way to better and modernize it for centuries to come. You win against all odds, and your tactics get given a name. Dutch discipline. Your formation tactics get used for more than 350 years, revolutionizing war all over the world. Some Canadian guy waking up to a commotion on December 6th, 1917. Chiang Kai-shek, when his generals win multiple battles. Yeah, I am going to need you to go on house arrest this Saturday. North Korea after banning Chinese words. Me think, why waste time say lot word, when few word do trick? Steve Jobs parking his untagged car across 2 handicapped spots. That will do. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Being considered pioneers in their field despite getting so much wrong. Herodotus, Sigmund Freud, wider America. Gee, I sure am glad the oil embargo is over and prices are coming back down. Now we can look forward to the coming economic recovery. Texans. We took out massive loans to buy new oil extraction equipment that is now worthless, and the price of oil will not stop falling. Please help us. A Chinese destroyer exploding and sinking at port. A sailor dumping his girlfriend.